joined by Brian Whitmer, and we have an exciting contest for you today. The Iroquois Nationals, who are finally settling in after their odyssey to get to this tournament. They will be playing England in a key blue group matchup, and Brian, this is obviously a big game for both of these teams, and it'll be interesting to see how the Iroquois perform after, they did have to go through everything they had to go through to get here with travel, and then playing a USA team that had a great first half and then had some struggles in the second half, which largely I think attributable, not as an excuse, just legitimately attributable to the travel, and now they feel like they're ready to go after a day off yesterday.
Yeah, I've made that flight, and I've wanted to sleep for 3 days straight. And these guys came out and played against, took the USA to task that first half. That was an absolutely amazing performance, but I do believe that jet lag really caught up to him in the second half. It'll be good to see what fresh legs look like for the Iroquois.
England had a great start yesterday against Canada. Actually, been a very strong first quarter. Had some good positives, but it eventually did fall to Canada. Not by as much maybe as some people thought, and a lot of people talking about how it was a pretty good performance by England. And I talked to Coach Tom Wenham before the game and said, hey, I was really impressed with some of the things you guys did yesterday. And his response was, thank you, I appreciate that, but we're not interested in being the plucky losers. We are here to do a job, and that's to perform to the best of our ability, and we didn't feel we did it yesterday. They want to play better. They want to make sure that they're doing everything they can. If that results in a win against the Iroquois, that would be fantastic for this English team, but they really just want to feel like they've held their side of the bargain up.
Yeah, there's no way these guys are playing for anything less than a medal, whatever that looks like. The practice schedule, these guys didn't mail it in, just show it up, just show up. This is a team that's been playing together, since 2014.
Yeah, that's the other point that Tom Wenham made, was that a lot of the team, he feels they have an advantage because a lot of teams haven't had time together to practice. They've been together for 18 months basically, playing exhibition games against Israel, against Princeton, top NCAA competition. We'll see how it stands them, what kind of stead it stands them in as we are about to get underway. Tom Bracegirdle will be down for England. They are wearing their red jerseys with the white numbers and trim, going left to right on your screen. Jeremy Thompson in the Iroquois white with the purple numbers is on the right, going to the left. We're ready for the opening face-off. And we have a procedure call right off the bat on Bracegirdle, and Jeremy Thompson will take possession. He's got Liam Anderson up with him looking for a pass, and Anderson, the defender, is going to run up into the offensive zone. Now he'll go back, and the Iroquois will set up. There's Austin Stotts wearing the 83. We often see on Randy Stotts, he passes to his brother behind the net, number 45, then to Tohoka Nanticoke, Lyle Thompson, and we move it all the way around. Brendan Bomberry playing up in a forward, in a O-midi position, but up at the top. And there's Nanticoke.
And that just goes to show, these guys are lacrosse players. They're not. I'm not a D mid.
Yeah.
I'm not an O mid. I'm not a face-off, get-off guy. These are lacrosse players.
Yeah, we saw a lot of Brendan Bomberry playing in the defensive zone 2 days ago, but he is up there in the attack, and he is capable. Randy Stotts is hiding on this side of the field, looking for something to come up, and it is England that comes up with possession. Oh, it actually rolls out of bounds off of the English stick. A bit of a tough break as it got away from Tommy Kirkland, and
that's unfortunate. England forced that turnover. They did everything right, and then just that loose ball.
Nanticoke bulldodging a short arm shot, scooped up by Austin Stotts right on the crease, and the goaltender Will Baxter snags it, runs out behind, and makes the quick pass. We'll see how the ride, as you can see, the Iroquois getting on him. Miles Thompson with some pressure. There's Brendan Bomberry running back into a defensive posture, but nice wheels all the way in the goal to open it up. Ryan Sweetman with a great run, 3/4 of the length of the field, and some very subtle dodging, just a little to and fro, and then tucks a bouncer home.
I think that is the most important goal for the English. Even if it was 1-0 Iroquois and they were able to tie it back up, to go ahead, that's that first, all right, hey, again, going back, hey, we're not here to play for second. We're here to win this game. Put these helmets on for a reason, and it's to win.
Bracegirdle and Thompson back down at the dot. Extended battle, and both of them are looking around to see who they've got. Pops out. A big chop there. And Tim Collins going after it's going to be eventually England coming up once again. And there is Tommy Kirkland again getting that ground ball. He's looking at his goaltender. Will Baxter is there to help him out. He has Dan Smith, who's a great lockdown defender. I talked to, again, Wenham before the game, and he was saying, yeah, he's our top lockdown guy. I just thought he had a fantastic game against Canada, especially matching up against Curtis Dixon, which bodes well because he's going to face a ton of talent tonight as well. England setting up in the offensive zone. Ball goes over to Nick Watson into the starting attack today after playing a supporting role yesterday. He hands it off to Alex Russell. They come back up top, and the middies get involved with Pete Hayes bending down to take that pass. And England had a pole up there. He's going to run back. And there's the pass out. They try to get something out to the front. I think Warren Hill may have tipped that pass away. It is scooped up there by Hayes. He's got some pressure on him coming from Jerry Stotts. There's Heine Thompson getting on to Josh Sherry Brennan. England's going to move it around.
Sherry Brennan was one of the sneakier players for England. He won't run past you. He won't run through you. Just kind of shows up in the right place at the right time, and a very effective finisher.
Sam Russell, captain, throws it back down low. Russell receives it back from Nick Watson. Heine Thompson watching him closely. England staying up outside the restraining line for now. Now they're going to move down. And a two-man game here as everyone else clearing off to the far side, but now they're going to move it around.
When I said that that first goal is most important for England, if they're able to notch this one, that's the next, that's the most important goal.
The most important goal in the lacrosse game is generally the next one.
Yeah, I was about to say, if there is if it does get to be that third one, 3-0, like that 4 and so on.
Yeah. Scarpello gets the ball back. Christian Scarpello's come in. He had a strong game yesterday against Canada, showing some good speed and lots of creativity. Scarpello gets it back.
Wow, we do have a
stall warning
call
already. Yeah. Just 4.5 minutes in.
You don't normally see that in international play. That's a call, mostly reserved towards the end of the game, but England does play a very possessive game. They're going to find their matchup, they're going to dodge it, and I actually did have the opportunity to ref their scrimmages versus Israel. I got to do it 4 times straight. And,
there's a pass in the middle, doesn't quite get through, but it comes out to Zach Guy. Heine Thompson jumps out on him to take away that chance. You could see he was ready, and they go the stall back on, which I'm not quite sure I get that one with the stall going on when they've just tried to get a shot on
it.
Net.
It never changed. It never came off.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, the hands did come down. I was prepared to roll on. Warren Hill has it. He's trying to get away from Nick Watson. He might be in a little bit of trouble here. He just tosses it up in the air, and he's got to get back to his net. Oh, a tremendous effort there by Ryan Huns. And the Iroquois come up with it, get it to Heine Thompson. He's got Jerry Stotts is running with him. Sets a little seal for him. Austin Stotts goes behind the net to Randy Stotts. Back to Austin. Kirkland out on him. And Miles Thompson. It'll take a bit of time. We've got Mike Lazor, number 24, coming off, and Heine comes off as well to get Lyle Thompson on the field, and Chase Scanlon, the youngster.
Must be nice subbing for your brother.
Yeah.
All right, you go score the goal.
I don't think they mind too much who scores the goals as long as they're all working together. It is such a great team effort. I mean, that's England with that advantage of playing together so much and so many games. But a lot of these, a nice backhand whip chance by Randy Stotts, but an alert play by Will Baxter, and then the very poised toss over to Kirkland. And it's only Austin Stotts up riding high, so England will have some time. But a lot of these First Nations players from the Iroquois Confederacy have played together coming up through junior cross. Huge hit by Miles Thompson. That's going to be a flag. That's just a touch late, laying the lumber on Dan Smith. Oh, and then a big hit on Baxter. As Randy Stotts hit Baxter. Baxter's helmet is off, and the coaches have to point to the referees that's the situation. I don't know if we can get another look at that one, but
that was 2 big bodies straight.
So a 1 minute illegal body check from Miles Thompson and nothing on the hit
I thought the second one was worse than the first.
Yeah, I mean, well, when you de-helmet a goalie who's away from the play,
off,
those are on fairly sturdily. I mean, you don't see them just popping off all the time.
Now, I didn't say anything before, but there was a little, I don't think it was an intentional elbow thrown, but there was an elbow thrown by there was contact made by an English defender to the helmet of one of the Iroquois players, and we might have seen something. Hey, we're not gonna let that go.
Russell goes on to the attack, gives it to Zach Guy, a 1 minute man-up advantage for England to try to stretch their 1-0 lead. Guy brings it back to the near side. They go back to Watson behind the net. They'll come out to Ryan Huns. He's got some space. Dodge, he's got lots of room, scores.
Wow.
Rips it sidearm, shoulder height, and a little curve to it to rip it past Warren Hill.
Now the Iroquois will still be down 1. All personal fouls are full-time serve penalties. Oh, wow. What a shot.
I was wondering if England might take a timeout here to preserve the second half of the penalty.
Very common call in international lacrosse.
The timeout?
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Go 2 for 1.
Yeah, because for anyone who's not familiar with the rules, the clock keeps running, which means the penalty keeps running, so it will be pretty much done by the time this face-off is contested. Bracegirdle kicks it across. Nice job.
Referee had to try to get out of the way and ended up stepping on it.
But England still comes up with the ball. Ryan Sweetman, and they are up 2-0. Now that next goal becomes the most important one. And now
we got a glove stuck in a stick here.
Bracegirdle had Jeremy Thompson's glove in his stick, which suggests that Thompson may have inadvertently gotten his glove where it shouldn't have been on the draw. But England with the advantage. I'll tell you, they were fired up before this game. You could see it. They wanted it. Will Baxter was roaring out "God Save the Queen" before the game.
You know what? It's a very classic, a very well-known anthem, and these guys let it. They love to sing it.
Yeah.
Some of these anthems are. There's definitely a ranking of best anthems and best performances. And these guys are up there. And the Iroquois as well. Honestly, that's just a really cool.
Great anthem, but not. You don't hear a lot of singing along.
No, actually, I noticed that.
Chanting type anthem.
Yeah, and it's actually a pretty silent, silent line. It's
the line of players.
It's cool for a different reason.
It's. England on the attack. We are back to 6-on-6 in this zone. Full power for everyone. Russell taking his time. About going to Watson. Go ahead.
I wonder if we'll see that stall call repeated. It's
yeah, I mean, they're definitely taking the slow process here. They're going to lob it back out to the top. Little dodge from the wing, and Josh Sherry-Brennan. He's going to let one rip. There's a save for Warren Hill. He's got to feel good about that because he's been beaten a couple of times. It's nice to get that stop. Yeah. That's going to be a pickoff as that ball was lobbed ahead, and the Iroquois are caught in chains, but England won't be able to press it because they have their guys coming to the bench as well. But I was wondering if Hayes was going to be able to push the envelope there, but couldn't take advantage of that. We are nearing the midway point of this first quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Brian Whitmer. Thanks for being with us on ESPN+. Thrilled to be bringing this England versus Iroquois game. If you're just joining us, that is 2-0 England, 3-0 England. Ryan Huns on the run, high to high, rips it into the top corner, and England up 3-0. We said before the game, they're not just here to be plucky losers or to have a moral victory. And
what's the point?
Yeah, what a great start.
I mean, no one drove here. This country isn't close to anybody. You come here to come and compete and put your cards on the table.
We'll have a media timeout while the hydration protocols are in effect, and we'll be back with just under 10 minutes to go in the first quarter on ESPN+. I'm Steven Stamp with Brian Whitmer at the 2018 FIL World Championships.
Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. Vacation beyond belief. Book your trip now.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends. Epic Lacrosse, the leader in technologically advanced lacrosse equipment, is proud to be the official head, shaft, glove, and arm protection of the 2018 FIL World Championships here in Netanya, Israel. Thank you to all the teams that have trusted Epic for their gear needs. Epic Lacrosse, live, play, be. Trusted Choices, official insurance partner of the 2018 FIL Worlds. Protect what matters most. From business to home, auto and life, Trusted Choice independent insurance agents are there for you when disaster strikes. Go to trustedchoice.com to find a local agent. Today, I'm Steven Stamp with Brian Whitmer. Welcome back to the World Lacrosse Championships here in Netanya, Israel. And it is 3-0 England with 9:50 to go in the first. What an exciting opening to the game for England. And I think the Iroquois fans may be a little shocked, and especially because they played so well in the opener when they'd just gotten off the plane against the U.S.
Well, there is that. I'll speak to that flight again. You know, yes. I've gotten off the plane and gone to the grocery store. You know,
right.
I've gotten off the plane and, you know, gone to dinner. You know, it's not quite as physically exhaustive as what what these guys were able to do, but sometimes you do have that, you don't know why the sun's up or why it's down. You have that little bit of almost adrenaline. You know, you're in a new place, and then the jet lag sets in the next day. So.
Yeah, that's where they're happy to have had the day off yesterday, but we'll see how they bounce back to Hoka Nanticoke to Lyle Thompson. He's going to go back up to Nanticoke wearing that box lacrosse helmet. He does have a very large head, so they have to adjust and adapt for him. Lyle Thompson, watched closely by Tom Brook. Thompson carrying it in one hand. Brook stays with him. He's got Miles cutting to the far side. He's going to create his own space. Spins off. Flag thrown. Lyle Thompson is celebrating like it is in.
It is in.
He was the only one who celebrated. Looked at the referee to see that he was running in, and the penalty will come, but it will be. Didn't see if it was, I think it's a minor penalty, so it will be eliminated by the goal.
I do believe that was a
slash.
slash.
It was a minute.
Yeah,
Let's
they got
see
it for
the
a slash.
replay here.
It was that check up.
It's on the arms.
Yeah.
So Lyle Thompson gets the Iroquois on the board, and they will go immediately to the man up.
That three goal lead gets down to 1 goal real quick, but that man up could be dangerous.
Thompson and brace girdle, huge face-off implications here as they go for the draw, and we have a false start on brace girdle. He is not happy about it, but the Iroquois will get possession. It was a quick start by Jeremy Thompson. They're going to make him come back and do it again, and now he will hand it off to Lyle, his brother. The 4 Thompson brothers all on the roster. Jeremy, the oldest, is taking the face-offs. Then we've got Heine, who's playing D midi, number 22. Then Miles, number 2, and there's Lyle, number 4. The youngest, and you can argue the best. Miles felt pretty good with that behind-the-back whip. And then Randy Stotts buries his, and the Iroquois immediately take the time in. That's what we were talking about before.
Excellent.
They want to make the most of that minute.
Yep, so we could realistically see, if they are able to notch this next one, it would be 3 goals within less than 30 seconds.
Very quick.
That was a very quick. Yeah, definitely less than a minute, obviously.
Yeah, I think it's probably almost more likely than not at this point with the Iroquois getting rolling. Here you can see the play and the quick behind the back pass by Miles Thompson. Just nobody down on Randy Stotts. But when you're short a man and there's 6 such talented players out on the offense, on the attack, it's pretty hard to cover everybody.
These are some of the best scorers in the world. They're used to shoot. The Iroquois guys. They grow up playing box. They can hit that tiny little corner, big goalie, small goal, and then you get a big goal, small goalie, and yeah, I can hit that 10 times out of 10. Says Randy Stats right there.
Well, Randy Stotts is a great shooter, and you can just see how fluid the movement gets as they get going. The Lyle Thompson, the straight-on pass, and then Miles goes behind the back to Randy Stotts. And the slides are not that quick coming a lot of times when you're facing the Iroquois because they're so focused on what's happening on the other side of the field as well. The defenders on the other side have to be paying careful attention because, Austin Stotts and his ilk will burn you. Kyle Jackson, those guys on the other side, are going to make you pay if you leave them open because Stotts and Thompson will hit the pass if you go and cover them.
Darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Huge face-off here. Bracegirdle has had a couple of violations procedural, so he's going to try to avoid giving this one up. They clamp down, it's good. The battle will ensue. This is more like the first face-off of the game. Jeremy Thompson looks up. And we do have a procedure call. Holding the ball. So England will get possession, and that is huge for them. Negates the value of the timeout by the Iroquois. You have to take that chance.
Face-off rules are slightly different, international and NCAA play, and you do have to immediately draw it from, once you get that clamp.
Sherry Brennan all the way back to Will Baxter. He takes a chop on the hip from Randy Stotts. The Iroquois not very happy with Will Baxter, who was getting engaged with some Iroquois players earlier, and they're kind of seeking some retribution. And you can see Lyle Thompson is ready to go. He was waiting until somebody came back so he could jump up without being offside, and he immediately was on the English player. But nice composed job by England.
And it looks like that penalty has expired.
Yeah.
We're all even.
Yeah, so back to even strength. 6.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. It's 3-2 for England. Now, this is huge. I mean, we did say the next goal is always the most important one, but after you've taken that 3-0 lead, you get that high, and then the Iroquois come back with a couple of goals for England. If their stated purpose is they want to go out, do their job, play to the best of their potential, and try to win a game here and work towards winning a medal, this is where they need to respond. Little moments like this. 6:10 to go here in the first quarter.
These
top to Russell. Sorry.
These pool play games for the blue group are, you can argue that they're almost not important because the top four do bump up. But if England does want that spot, they need to knock off 2 people.
Yeah.
And this would be a major step.
Well, if England can win this one, gives them a great chance to move directly into a quarterfinal.
Correct.
Because as you said, if you win 2 games, you go straight to the quarterfinals because you finish in the top 4. There's Jake Fox, a long pole at Johns Hopkins, who has transitioned to the defensive position, and he's showing some wheels, and he'll run up, and he can play on offense even with that long pole, but he's just going to hand it off to Kyle Jackson because there's plenty of firepower up front already for the Iroquois. A great run by Fox to get that one out of danger. Lyle Thompson over on the far side, watched there by Hayes. Iroquois with a bunch formation, 5 guys all locked up together in tight, and then they burst out. Bomberry cuts to the net. Now he's going to seal and try and get Miles Thompson open. He's going to go set a pick. A lot of picking, and Kyle Jackson is the recipient of the scoring chance, and he makes the most of it. There goes that English lead. We'll see how they respond, but the Iroquois with a great response to the opening 3 goals for the English. So Jackson just goes down low, keeps it low, skips one past Will Baxter, and evens things up. And that's, the Nationals, they weren't going to panic. But,
no.
That is a really fast return.
It's a very long game. We're not even done with this first quarter. I mean, there's no reason to panic going down 3. This is a very capable team. Just fix it. Find out what's wrong and fix it.
Tom Brook out to take a face off the long pole, and he wins it to himself. That's a flag.
Gonna get called.
The first hit kind of bounced him into the other player, and I think a stick got up high. I imagine we'll see a high sticking call here. So it's going to be a minute on Johnson Jimerson. Yeah, he's played very well for them, but it was the second hit where he gets bumped. Oh, sorry, I wasn't watching the replay, but you can see he just gets rammed there. So England couldn't get a better opportunity to try and get your momentum back than going on the man up here. Now there's a flag coming.
Too many. I'm not understanding here.
I'm not either. It stopped. The shot to the far side. What a great save, though, by Warren Hill.
Was that live? Would that shot have counted?
I don't think so, because I think the whistle had gone. But the interesting thing is that 3 of the officials at least were watching the play. One behind the play was blowing his whistle to blow it down. So is it live? I mean, I guess if one official blows his whistle, it's down.
Now, what I'm thinking happened, the Iroquois subbed on a dead ball, as you're allowed to do in NCAA and MLL play. You're not allowed. You must sub even on a penalty 1-for-1 when a penalty is assessed.
Yeah.
And if that's what the call was, I can't think of another one. I don't know what the illegal procedure was.
So it's 6-on-4, and I think you're spot on. So England, glorious opportunity. Can they take advantage? It'll be 30 seconds of 6-on-4 play, unless they can get a goal, and that will wipe out the 1 penalty. Movement around the outside. There's the cutter. Not going to go to him, behind the back. Hands free, the bouncer. Lauren Hill gets it, turns aside Sam Russell's shot. And you can see how quickly Zach Guy wants to get this started again. Here comes one Iroquois national back into the play. England still on the man advantage. They go back door, but it's picked off. Great job to pick it off by Taylor Smoke. He just lays it down for Warren Hill. It goes for the long, long pass. It's going to get out of play just out. Miles Thompson almost saved it.
Now the coaching staff actually grabbed that ball. That ball is actually technically not out of bounds in international play until it hits the ground. I think he had a play on that ball. Might have let that one go.
Here comes Liam Anderson rushing out at a full sprint to get in, and we are even strength once again, and we're all even up on the scoreboard. It's 3-3. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter of play. Off the post and the other post.
Wow.
That could not be much closer to going in the net without actually going in. Sam Russell, a bit of a tough break, and then a great ground ball and the play back. What a heads-up play there by Ron John. The 20-year-old showing some veteran poise to make that play. And then this long pole shot, that is Jerry Stotts, who's been running up a few times. He got a shot off that time. He's looking a little uncomfortable as he runs towards the change box. And he's actually they are going to send him around. He is definitely not looking very comfortable as he comes
He got the wind knocked out of him. He doesn't look...
Yeah, he's got the hands up over the head, just stretching the diaphragm out, so should be all right. Austin Stotts takes it from Nanticoke, throws it down low, and Ty Thompson, the other lefty up there for him. Here comes Lyle Thompson as they go with 4 rights in this lineup. There's a shot by Lyle Thompson, and that is just a filthy snipe by Lyle Thompson. Absolutely perfect.
It must be so much fun to do that, so easily.
And
that's perfect. Good defense.
Yeah, it is pretty good defense, and you say how much fun it is.
Look at that angle.
Look how much fun they're having as they get together after and celebrate that goal, and that's a beauty by Lyle Thompson. We saw some intricate passing earlier to make things happen. This is just a solo spin dodge that Lyle Thompson just makes that happen himself.
Definitely a disproportionate number of fans on the Iroquois offensive end than the English offensive end.
Yes, everyone in the world wants to watch the Iroquois play offense, and that is one more example of why. Here's Jeremy Thompson, picks it up to himself. He's going to run in. Oh, it pops out of his stick. None of the English defenders see where it is, though, so Randy Stotts is the first one to get to it. They see where he's going, spin around, big battle. It's grabbed for a moment by Tom Brook, but gets away from him. Ball goes out of bounds. It's off of England. Heine Thompson is up there playing with a pole. He's going to stay in. As the backhand whip, we saw it earlier from Randy Stotts. It didn't work. This time, works like a charm, and he finds that far side. That's a beautiful shot by Randy Stotts.
As a goaltender, how do you read that?
And it happens with approximately 1 second left on the clock in the first quarter. What a huge momentum swing, and you can just see the heads drop for England. Momentarily, they will have time to regroup. We will... I just want to say today's game is brought to you in part by Corum Watches. Since 1955, Corum has adopted creativity and boldness as its guiding principles. Corum, the official timekeeper of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Learn more about Corum at www.corum-watches.com. And you just saw what a finish. We're going to take a quick break for the first quarter. We'll be back with more from the 2018 FIL World Championships on ESPN+.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out.
Joe Walters is overrated.
Joey Sankey won't make it to the next level.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the FIL World Championships of 2018 here in Netanya, Israel. I'm Steven Stamp, joined by Brian Whitmer. Thanks for joining us here on ESPN. And we have Tom Brook heading out for the face-off again. Interesting to see that they're going with Brook over Bracegirdle, who had a couple of violations, just wasn't having a lot of success. He pulled a couple out, though, but trying to switch it up with Jeremy Thompson, though. He's been a staple for the Iroquois.
In those England-Israel scrimmages, a couple months back, it was, I would say, 85-90% taken by Brook.
Okay. I know last night I did the England-Canada game, and Bracegirdle seemed to be the main guy, and they just kind of put in Brook as a change-up. But nice little flip pass there. What a play by Andrew Baxter to get it to Will Baxter. And now they come across to the near side, and Christian Scarpello. A couple of Iroquois nationals on him. He gets by, though. Great job. And they quickly take a look. Smart play by Ron John to make sure he wasn't going to go offside. Now he's back playing defense. England in the offensive zone. They trail 5-3 after that early 3-0 lead. We'll see if they can recover and get back, not that they're out of the game, but get back into the scoring column. It's been a while since they got those early goals. Here comes Nick Watson on the run, throws it across to the far side. A little stroll up through the middle there by Alex Russell as England's trying to get the Iroquois defense to have to turn their heads. Zach Guy, a couple of quick dodges, but he is just watched very closely by Ron John. And John just doesn't go for it. He just stands back and stays where Guy is going to go, not where he is.
Zach Guy's, he's very familiar with the Iroquois national guys. I do believe he played his minor and junior lacrosse at Onondaga.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, he's a Lafayette guy, and before he went to Georgetown.
Nice swim move, but again, Ron John, the young defender, again, just 20 years old, the D-Midi, and he has been terrific for this team. Pass up to the top. England will reset and see whether they can get rolling here as Ryan Huns. Brian Silcott was mentioning last night, he plays very much like a Canadian. He likes his strong hand, likes to play the Canadian style. Here's a chance, backing away, and the pass across. It skips out of the stick of Alex Russell, or sort of, of Alex Russell. England recovers the ball after that one was knocked loose. For an extended possession, they go back up top to Christian Scarpello. Watson will take his time.
A very, very patient English offense.
Everybody down low, they're not spreading it out. They are kind of tightening things up, hoping they can rub off some picks and things. Just get some confusion. You can see when they've got the two men stacked in the middle. Now the stall warning goes on.
Again, yeah.
This is very unusually frequent for stall warnings, as you said, early in the game in the first half.
Especially international lacrosse, or the NCAA as well. Like you really don't.
Hard shot from the outside by Ryan Huns, but I think Warren Hill saw that all the way, and he is certainly looking a lot more comfortable than he did early on. Warren Hill, looking at the official, spreads his arms, says, "Hey, they just ran into me." Here comes Austin Stotts carrying the ball up, takes a quick peek behind to make sure all is clear, tosses it ahead, and Ty Thompson has the ball. Throws it around to the far side. Randy Stotts up top to Lyle Thompson. Token Anticoke will take this one. And the open look, open set for the Iroquois. Well spread out. Now picked by Tohokan Anticoke for Austin Stotts. Fakes the pass, comes back to himself and rips it. And that is a lovely shot as well. And you can see that little hand fake that just gave a moment of openness for him to get that shot. He doesn't need a whole lot of space.
You really don't need to, get the guy to completely fake on it. You don't need to bite and turn all the way around and wonder where that ball is. He just freezes you. It's just that subtle little move.
And you can see it definitely, there's that little bite by England. And again, once he's got that half a step, there's no catching it. You can try the trail check, you've got to have the slide, but we can see, I think, consistently that the English defenders are hesitant to slide. As we talked about earlier, all the Iroquois players are so dangerous passing the ball as well as shooting. You don't want to leave your man open and make it create an even easier shot for somebody on the back door when when you jump the slide too much.
Once again, darned if you do, darned if you don't.
Yeah. Not to say it's hopeless. That can sound kind of hopeless when you say there's not much you can do either way, but you've got to sometimes take that chance, force them to make the pass, and complete it under pressure, which they'll do a lot, but you can still count on your goaltender to make that save. Will Baxter's a solid goalie back there. Nice little pick.
Oh, wow.
What a feed, and the great finish. Gorgeous play by Randy Stotts to get it through to Brendan Bomberry, and Bomberry, who is going to go quite high in this year's National Lacrosse League entry draft this fall, shows how those box skills are helping him.
What a slip. And you know what? Credit to the English. Like, he slid. He slid to the body, stopped him, but it's a big body to try to turn back.
Well, the pick and roll, lovely, and Stotts behind the back gets it through to Bomberry, and then Brendan Bomberry just bulls his way. I mean, he drives down, plants the foot, and drives back up between two English defenders. Hard to say what exactly it is that you're supposed to do more than that, other than knock him on the ground, which isn't that easy because, like you said, Brendan Bomberry's big and strong.
I mean, it's a very big, physical Iroquois national team, and it's not to say the English aren't, but you gotta be strong to turn these guys back.
Great job by Liam Anderson, another young defender for the Iroquois, 19 years old. And Jeremy Thompson will hand it off to Randy Stotts, but you can just see the way that, Jeremy Thompson rolls around after the face-off, and another young defender goes out and does a good job for the Iroquois. The big question for them is, how do these young defenders hold up against the U.S. and Canada as they try to move up into the higher ranks? But they still have to face Australia. Randy Stotts spinning, throws it back up to Lyle Thompson, comes across here to the near side to Bomberry. They're forcing him over to his right. Tripped up, not intentional, but
ball's not down yet.
Question. Nope, they've still got it.
Oh, no
There's
way.
a shot and a goal by
my.
Ty Thompson. What a great play by Bomberry to keep possession in his stick as he hits the ground, have the presence of mind to just spin up on his backside and flip the ball over to Ty Thompson.
I'm gonna want to see that one again. I can't believe he was able to hold on to that.
And again, it wasn't an intentional trip there by Ryan Sweetman, but you can see on the ground with one hand, he protects
there he goes,
it and gets back up.
Right
that
through.
is unbelievable.
I think he passed before he looked.
He may have. Well, the thing is, it might not have helped that much because his helmet, when he fell, went up, was riding up over his chin. I'm not sure the angle, how well he could see through his cage anyway. That's a great play by Brendan Bomberry. Lovely finish by Ty Thompson. Not to take away from that, but,
no, not at all.
But that play is made by Brendan Bomberry. That's two gorgeous plays in a row. He is a young man who is coming into his own as a player with this team.
So that penalty must have been a personal because it was still assessed. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a simple push.
It was a tripping call.
Trip was called.
Yeah. So a chance for the Iroquois, who are up 8-3 now, to just keep pouring it on, and that's what they do. Miles Thompson with the catch, spins, takes the pass from his brother, spins and tucks it home far side, high to high, and the Iroquois are on a roll here right now.
It's when it rains, it pours. when these guys get rolling, it's how do you stop it?
Well, as much as England was fired up early on and doing a good job, you can see body language-wise they're having a little bit of a tough time. We do have a timeout here. And the interesting thing, I think, now is what do you do if you're England? How do you turn it around and get back into this and not just hang your heads? Because physically you can see just some draining of the energy from this England club. Now, one thing, they are taking some shots over here, warming up Hal Dwobang, and the 20-year-old goalie from Brooklyn's lacrosse club. Is he just starting to stay active, or are they thinking about putting him into the net for Will Baxter?
They did just about split time in those England-Israel games, but
those are development games or exhibition preparation games. You want everyone to play at the World Championships. You're going with your guy.
Correct.
So unless you feel like he's going to give you a chance to stop the bleeding here, as you said, we'll see. Well, Will Baxter is walking back to his cage, talking to his defenders, and See how it goes coming off of this break.
And that timeout was called, so we will still see. So that could be another 3-goal swing for the Iroquois on that one penalty.
Yeah.
You know, the flag's down, they score. Goal scored, you know, another goal, and the timeout to ice it. So
Yeah, smart use of their timeouts. Ball tapped ahead by Brooke and then tapped through the legs of Lyle Thompson. And you can, nice play to reach out.
That's a smart play.
You can't go over the line there because Tyson Bombury can't go over with his feet because possession had not be established. It leads to a goal at the other end by young Chase Scanlon.
And that's a 3-goal flag down situation.
Yeah. That's right, score on the delay, score one, call a timeout, go back and get it. So they're taking advantage of everything here.
Now the interesting thing, they send the long stick to the far wing. Well, the penalty is expired now, but send the guy to the far wing because if you keep the guy in the short wing, you have to wait for possession to release your guy if your penalty clocks out. If the penalty clocks out and your guy loads in the far wing, then you're allowed to run on as soon as that clock strikes 0. I just learned that one.
I was going to say, that one's a bit beyond my ken when it comes to the rule book. Brooke will get possession off the face-off. There's actually
there would have been
Chase Scanlon going to take that face-off.
2 long sticks on that face-off.
England with possession. It's 10-3 for the Iroquois. We're nearing the midway point of the second quarter. I'm Stephen Stamper with Brian Wimmer here on ESPN at the 2018 FIL World Championships. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope you're enjoying the game. Probably enjoying a bit more if you're an Iroquois fan than if you're an England fan. And you are hoping, if you're England, to just get that momentum back. Try to get something positive because it seems like everything good happening lately is for the Iroquois. England wants to turn it around. And it is just filling in more and more over along the fence of the Iroquois offensive end of the field. Actually, the defensive end this time, I was wondering if they might move down to the other end to see it. I guess that's just where people
I was kind of curious if they were going to move down. I don't know if there's seating. I don't know if the fence kind of runs like that.
Yeah.
It is a packed house.
Up at the top, Will Hardy trying to regain possession, gets a nice job to withstand the check and come up with possession by Hardy. He'll hand it off there to Nick Watson. That high pass reached up for him with one hand by Zach Guy, and it just skips right off his stick.
He's gonna want that one back. That's tough. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Looked like he felt like he had to jump up and reach with one hand. I think it turned out he probably didn't. And that's tricky when you've already committed to jumping and then realize that you probably could just reach up and get it.
Yeah.
Iroquois setting up in the offensive zone. Nanticoke over to Kyle Jackson. Haven't seen a ton of Jackson in this game, but boy, he's a deadly finisher as well. There's Austin Stotts driving low. Always looking, always. You can see he's got his head on a swivel, seeing who's coming open. Nanticoke isn't able to get the passes. He picked off along the way. Great job by Alistair Burvin.
Nanticoke running out of the midfield. I mean, he's been running midfield. You know, he did it against USA. Did it against, now against England.
He's more than capable of playing out of that position, obviously.
The Iroquois Nationals are lacrosse players.
Scarpella, nice pass, just behind. It may have been tipped because Alex Russell looked like he was expecting that to get to him and dropped his head. Obviously a little disappointed. We will take a media timeout with 9:20 to go here as the players go through hydration protocol. They get the water. It's 10-3 Iroquois Nationals here on ESPN's coverage of the 2018 FIL World Championships. we'd like to thank all our sponsors for this game and for this tournament. Remember, today's game is brought to you in part by Signature Lacrosse. Signature is a company built by the players for the players, focused on revolutionizing the progression of the game. Follow Signature Lacrosse on Instagram at Signature Lacrosse to stay up to date on product releases like Magic Mesh, the longest lasting, strongest, and #1 performance mesh in the game. The game is also brought to you in part by JBC Money, the money transfer specialist, for private and corporate clients. Start saving today with bank-beating exchange rates, no fees or commissions on your international money transfer needs, and with the support for 60 different currencies. Find out more about JBC Money during the championships at jbcmoney.com. And it's also brought to you in part by Celebrate. Communities everywhere turn to Celebrate's leading digital intelligence solutions every day to help make a safer world more possible. Visit Celebrate.com to see how. Interesting that Hal Dwobeng, Brian, is back in the box, in the net out there, taking more shots. Again, he's striding back to the bench, and it looks like Will Baxter will stride out to his net. No, Dwobeng staying in.
And
He's just coming to touch hands.
The change, yep.
There it is. So we'll see how much difference it can make. Do you like that change at this point? That maybe even if it's not, you're not putting it on Will Baxter, maybe a little earlier just to try and get a momentum swing.
If England is able to come back into this game and tie it 10-10 or what have you, if they're not, it's still great to get your it's a long tournament. It's a hot climate. Your backup goalie is going to need to play.
Yes.
You're going to need to be a part of that. Getting shots, getting game time, getting play time. It's important.
And a lot of times teams will wait till halftime when they've got all the time they need to get that backup goalie ready. And the Iroquois official, the coaches, just telling Chase Scanlon, they're pointing to him, get out on the field. They're not going to need him for the clear as they get the long pass, the one hopper up to Kyle Jackson. Jackson gets it back from Randy Stotts over to Brendan Bomberry, who has been stellar in this game. 2 absolutely brilliant plays. So they're going to give it to him and let him try and do something else. Tim Collins goes over to pick him up. Bomberry goes underneath him, passes behind to Miles Thompson. That comes out to Frank Brown playing up in the O-midi position. He is a very talented young player. Really broke through with the Rochester Nighthawks this year and in the National Lacrosse League. And there's some quick movement. Nice save by Dwobeng on his first chance.
One shot, one save, yeah.
Not bad percentage, but they give it up.
It is also...
Coke, there's a finish. He's 1 for 2 now, and there's going to be a flag.
Yep.
That's pretty clear. See, make sure Ty Thompson can maintain his composure. He'll just have a couple of words for Ryan Sweetman.
It's a pretty foolish...
Andrew Baxter. Don't want to give the blame to the wrong guy. It is a foolish penalty, a frustration penalty.
Totally avoidable.
After the goal.
Totally avoidable. Nothing gets accomplished.
Okay, so there is a penalty going to...
And it was a dead ball foul. Yep.
It's Ty Thompson.
Referee kind of, went back and forth there between the illegal body check or unnecessary roughness, whatever it is. It's a minute, and there's a dead ball penalty. And make it take it here for the Iroquois.
There's a chance down low. Miles Thompson throws it up, and Hoka Nantico rips one, but it goes out the back of the field. Miles Thompson will pick it up. And there, another ball. The ball did eventually come back out. And Miles Thompson will have to kick that one just over the edge. It's a little tricky because there is a little slope at the end of the field here.
These fields are regulation. They are not.
Oh, what a rip. Austin
wow.
Stotts takes the pass from Ty Thompson, drops the head of the stick down around knee height, and just blasts one through Hal Dwobeng.
It must be easy coaching the Iroquois.
Go score.
Yeah, hey, throw the ball in the net. Do that thing you've been doing since you were born.
Not to minimize what this coaching staff is doing. Obviously,
no.
Yeah. Mark Burnham doing a great job. And, they do coach, but I remember talking to Dan Ladouceur, who coaches Lyle and Miles Thompson and Randy Stotts in Georgia with the Swarm, and also some very talented players like Shane Jackson on the other side of the floor, and saying, hey, what do you, and he was a D guy, he was a D coach before, and asking him, what do you do with them? Like, how do you go about what's really involved in coaching them since you're a D guy? And he said, I pretty much just tell them to go play. We set up
That's
a few
awesome.
things here and there, but he's like, I'm not going to teach them how to play lacrosse. I'm going to teach them a few things that we think can impact the team we're playing that night. But he said very clearly, I'm not teaching them how to play this game.
It's game management. It's game management. Like this, you're playing a game more than you are another opponent. You're playing the opponent more than you're playing against yourselves.
Kyle Jackson. He'll swim, cuts the middle, throws it back across to the near side. Brendan Bomberry will find Scanlon. What a thrill for a youngster like Chase Scanlon to be passing the ball to Randy Stotts. Comes back out to Kyle Jackson. And of course, the one thing the Iroquois will tell you is he can only be thrilled, excited about that for a little while. Then he's just got to be adding to this team. That pass through doesn't connect. It's going to be tracked down. Will it be in time? No, it's going to head out. Nice hustle. Good effort there by Brendan Bomberry, but it's not going to be in time. And England's Tom Bracebridge will take the ball.
I don't believe the English attempted a clear sense that failed clear that led to the penalty that led to another 2-goal swing there.
And yet they have one of the easiest clears you'll ever see. Just a man left all alone. Sam Patterson just accepts the long pass, tosses it off, comes back over center to get an attack on. And England will try to get a little momentum or at least stem the tide, as it's been 12 straight goals from the Iroquois Nationals. It's not that often you use the term 12 straight goals in a lacrosse game, but when it is,
Rarely.
it's probably often the Iroquois Nationals involved. Huns throws it down to Sherry Brennan. Gets it back up to the top. England pushing everyone high. Now they start to drive a couple men down low and go to X. As they rotate around, we've got a stack up top and everyone popping out. They tried to swing, and just great defensive communication and intelligence by this young Iroquois team. That's a very good sign for them because, as we said, they have a lot of young guys, a lot of guys new to international lacrosse, or relatively new to international lacrosse at this level anyway.
I don't think the question for the Iroquois Nationals as far as podium placement is offense. If these guys are able to keep Canada off the board, they've figured it out how to keep England off the board in this second quarter. If they're able to keep points off the board, it won't be a problem for the offense to put them back on.
Yeah. Although the U.S. and Canada have some awfully good defensive players as well, who can make it challenging for you. A little more so than England is doing at this point in this game. There's a flag coming. Looks like it's going to be on Mike Lazor. Play is blown down. Lazor will hustle off. 1 minute slashing call. So a chance for England to get back on the board. They will send their attacker. It looks like Zach Guy is heading over to run things at the top of the formation.
It's like Taylor Smoke will go out to play the ball, or halfway to play the ball. They are man down. Taylor and I played together with the Vermont Voyagers for a season.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's a peace officer or police officer on the I'm not sure exactly where, but up in the Quebec region.
There's a shot from Huns.
Wow.
That's a laser. That looked like ones we've been seeing on the other side of the field. What a beauty by Ryan Huns, who puts everything into that shot and just buries it on the far side. 23-year-old from Heaton Mersey, and you can see on the replay just how much of himself he gets into that. Lets it rip, and England now will take the timeout. With 2:38 to go here in the second quarter, they're going for the same approach, obviously. Get that clock stopped and see what you can do as you prepare to go back out on the man advantage. Today's game is, Honix is proud to be the official provider of game day apparel for referees here at the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. Founded in 1984, Honix is the right call for all referees, umpires, and officials across all sports in the United States and around the world. For more information, visit honix.com. Honix, the right call for over 30 years. Today's game also brought to you in part by Gladiator Lacrosse, equipment designed and perfected by lacrosse players for lacrosse players seeking to take their game to the next level. Visit gladiatorlacrosse.com today. And finally for this break, hey fans, today's game is brought to you in part by Cascade Lacrosse. Cascade, the #1 helmet in lacrosse, and proud to be the official helmet of the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. See more by following Cascade Lacrosse on Instagram. Cascade Lacrosse, a passion to protect. So Brian Whitmer, I am Steven Stamp. It is 12-4. as we're late in the second quarter. And the English side, Coach Tom Wenner made no bones about it. They didn't want to be just here to put up a plucky effort. They wanted to come out and do the absolute best they can. And I think they're going to be a little disappointed in some of their defensive work, but a lot of credit to the Iroquois Nationals, obviously. What a massive
The good
talent.
news is they still have, more than a half of lacrosse to go. These international games they're long.
Yeah,
80
80 minutes of time, including the last 3 minutes of the fourth quarter stop time.
The FIL did just vote to change the rules down to 15. They're going to cut 20 minutes out of the game.
I like that.
I also support it. That 4 times 80 is a long game.
And England will use their final timeout of the first half with 2:29 to go here in the second quarter. It's 12-4. They're going to see what they can do to take advantage of this after a face-off win. And you can see the spirits. I mean, body language can be so telling. And I'll tell you, England, that last goal seems to have really buoyed them up a little bit. You're still down 12-4, but you just have something positive happening. And this is a resilient lot. And as we said, they've been together for a long time, playing together. You saw, as you said, you were officiating as they played Israel, those 5 games back in April.
April,
Yes,
correct.
right before
early
the
April.
Alice Robesky tournament.
5 days, 5 cities, 5 games.
And they actually did that in part, first of all, to make the most use they could of getting together and having that time to maximize the efficiency of it, but also, it is a bit of a preparation for this tournament. It
Absolutely.
is a grind where you're playing pretty much every day.
They are the only other national team besides Israel to play in Israel. That's a huge advantage.
Excellent point.
And they were at other things as well. They went to Barcelona. There were a handful of national teams in Barcelona. Spain, obviously, Germany, Netherlands, Norway. They put the work in. Lacrosse in England is obviously one of the largest international bodies. Australia and England. That'll be a rivalry as always. Clubs all over. You said Heaton Mersey was. I forget who scored that last goal, but
That was Ryan Huns.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mersey product.
But there are clubs just, that all up and down. Yeah. Primarily, Manchester's a big one. I got a friend who's the captain at Hillcroft there.
We're going to go to the man up for now and watch England, and we'll get back to that. England on the attack. They're trying to use the best of it, and that guy with the hard shot, Warren Hill, deflects it away. It goes back out of play, and England immediately back to the attack. We're back to even strength. They got a chance. A little outside, but the guy couldn't quite find his spot. He has the ball back. Checked hard there by Oren Horn. Another of these young defenders, 23 years old, just out of junior lacrosse a couple of years ago. Move around the perimeter. That guy watched again by Horn. They're locked up one-on-one. See what Horn can do here. If the guy can generate something, he gets it over to Russell. Sam Russell, flip back up, 2 Huns at the top. Here we go to guy at action. They've got Sam Russell down across. Sorry, Alex Russell's number 5 over on the far side. This is Sam Russell up here. They're going to go skip pass. Didn't get through. Warren Hill picks it off and immediately gets it to Jerry Stotts. He is rumbling up the field.
5-on-4 action.
There's a chance going to the trail, and then the quick pass down to the crease. Great movement. How did that not go in? What a play.
What a save.
Ty Thompson had a great chance. Wasn't quite able to find it, and Hal Dwobing, a lot of credit to him on that one. Iroquois Nationals get the possession after that shot. Cal Jackson will slow things down a little bit. England's last attacker just coming out.
Oh, wow.
Just ran right by Jackson. I'm not sure why you don't hit him in that case.
I think he was just looking to, head down, trying to get in.
Yeah.
Jackson was a little shaken there, a little
You
scared.
can see the skip as he got surprised.
1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Correct.
Oh, yeah. No, there's only 6 up there.
Now there are only 6.
Okay. Well, there you go. England possession.
HT Hayana with a long stick.
20 seconds left. Yeah, Heine Thompson up at the top of the formation. He's been playing with the pole for much of this game. There's Nick Watson. They've got 8 seconds to try and generate something. That's too high.
Can't do that.
Can't throw your stick up in the air after the ball. That's just a mental error.
That's unlike
Scarpello. The half will end as Christy Scarpello takes a penalty for illegal procedure.
That's not English lacrosse. Those guys know better than that.
We're going to take a break for the half. It's a 10-minute break, but we do want to remind you that Maverick Lacrosse is proud to be the official social responsibility partner of the 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championships. With best-in-class design and input from the game's top players, Maverick is on a tireless mission to offer innovative, high-performance products. Nothing should get in the way of an athlete playing at their best. See more by following Maverick Lacrosse on Instagram. Maverick Lacrosse, powered by the player. And Sidewalls Lacrosse has created the first and only custom manufactured lacrosse heads that represent the style and individuality you bring to the game. You shouldn't have to be Picasso in order to have a custom head. Check out sidewalls.com for official 2018 FIL World Lacrosse Championship heads and more. That's sidewalls.com. Sidewalls spelled with a Z. I'm Steven Stamp with Brian Whitmer. It's 12-4 for the Iroquois over England. We'll be back with more FIL World Championships coverage on ESPN.
For insurance.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop around to find you a better deal. Free to do what's right for you. Find an agent at trustedchoice.com.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out.
Joe Walters is overrated.
Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade, passion to protect.
Today's forecast, always sunny. Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, vacation beyond belief. Book your trip now.
Hi. We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped? Probably. When agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited. But a Trusted Choice independent agent is free to shop around to find you a better deal. Free to do what's right for you. Find an agent at trustedchoice.com.
Jordan Wolf won't pan out.
Joe Walters is overrated.
Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade, passion to protect.
Hi.
We're looking for insurance.
Let's see who's free.
Is your insurance agent trapped?
Joey Sankey won't make it at the next level.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade, passion to protect.
Today's forecast, always sunny. Jerusalem, Tel Aviv. Vacation beyond belief. Book your trip now.
Hello, lacrosse friends. This is Steven Stam, joined by Brian Whitmer here in Netanya, Israel. It is 12-4. The Iroquois Nationals leading England at the 2018 FIL World Championships on ESPN. Welcome back. Thank you for being with us. That's a nifty little no-look pass, or look-away pass.
Lever
Dan
pass,
Smith. Yeah, Dan Smith going for a run. He passes it off and heads to the net, looking for the give and go. Now he's going to try and be a trail man. I've been very impressed with Smith as a defender. Hoping he might actually stick in there, take that shot. I'd love to see the Poles take the shots, but he's going back to his position, and England will set up on offense the first possession of the second half. 12-4 the score for Iroquois. Sam Russell going for a bit of a trot. Still a long pull up there as they are now bringing Brooke back across center. Pete Hayes will take the pass, get it over to Sherry Brennan. Ryan Huns, who had that last goal for England on the absolute snipe high to high. Little pick from Sherry Brennan, but
Just getting the matchups, finding what they want.
Huns opts not to use it as the ball keeps moving. Over to Russell. He takes a look down.
I would put a couple shekels on that. The English team has more passes than anyone else, any other team.
Very much a ball control game.
Yeah, ball keeps moving. I honestly feel like it's almost like a football kind of thing.
It's like watching Spain or Belgium.
Keep it moving.
At times it's very effective in breaking down the defense. At times it can be very entertaining, and at times it can look like there's not a lot of purpose to it, but there always is a purpose to the way that they're playing. It's just if it doesn't bear fruition, it's hard to see it. But there it is. There's a chance. Russell spins, shoots, just misses wide.
Oh wow! Unfortunately, hit his own player.
The ball bounces loose. Warren Hill clamps down on it in his crease. There was some pressure there from Alex Russell, number 5, and brother Sam, of course, number 6.
What happened there?
English possession. And Warren Hill hesitated for a moment, kind of paused and looked at the ref to see what he was calling, and then realized that Ryan Huns had the ball and play was about to be blown in. Had to zip around the post back into his crease. Warren Hill's doing a great job, and we talked so much about the Iroquois offense, and rightfully so. And we've talked about their young defense, but Warren Hill is a key component to this team. He's looking pretty sharp. Early on, obviously gave up those 3 goals and was not looking very happy with himself as that pass sails high on England. But Hill has definitely rebounded. He's a quality goaltender back there.
I mean, when the Iroquois were kind of taking it to the U.S., that it wasn't because the U.S. wasn't getting shots or anything. They were getting their shots. Warren was fantastic in that first beginning of that game.
Austin Stotts on the far side. Watch there by Alistair Bourbon. They move it to the middle. Falling to the ground, no tripping call. Thought we might have one very similar to the Sweetman trip earlier in the first half. Austin Stotts is down. Pretty common sight if you watch Austin Stotts play. He is an absolute just nose to the grindstone. He is a super talented player, but he's also a real worker bee. He loves to get involved, get inside, get into the action, and he takes a bit of a pounding. You can see he is down on the ground still.
I saw him in I forget what year it was, but they were when the OCC beat Howard County Community College for the JUCO championship, and Austin was hurt the entire time. He just wouldn't come off the field. He just wanted to keep playing, but he was injured, unfortunately.
Yeah, you can see he's extended. He's holding his chest. He did look like he was extended as he fell, and he may have just winded himself. And it's easy to say just winded yourself. That's very painful.
It's hard to play through. It's hard to play. It's impossible to play through.
You can't. You physically are not able to get the breath, the oxygen that you need. So we'll see if he's okay. They have him down. He is kneeling down on the ground below us in clear pain. So we're certainly hoping that he is okay. We'll see. The one thing, he is hurt a lot. He seems to be always dealing with things, but he also always bounces back and comes and plays. There's a check from behind. That's a mistake by Bourbon. So he gets on Lyle Thompson's back with the check.
Wow. See a flag for it. I thought it was just a little push there.
We're going to give him a 1-minute slash. So Iroquois up 12-4 and go to the man advantage. Lyle Thompson will leave it there for his brother Miles. So again, they go heavy right with 4 righty dominant players. And Lyle Thompson, Tahoka Nantico takes the ball. Miles Thompson and Randy Stotts. They try a loose ball. Might have fooled 1 or 2 players actually, but not enough to make it work. There's Lyle Thompson though. Great job by Smith getting down on him, but the hard cross-field pass doesn't connect with Randy Stotts, and England will get possession. That's a great penalty kill play there by the English to take that man down situation and play a very aggressive defensive style that allowed them to cause that turnover. And now Gobang circling his crease.
No clear count in international cross.
We can take as long as we like. Randy Stotts is pointing over to Ty Thompson, saying, hey, come over and help me here. But Thompson is covering his outlet, so he can't really release. And it's Wobang that will run ahead, and there is the outlet that had to be covered, Tommy Kirkland. They're going to throw it all the way back down. And Tim Collins sees the man coming out of the penalty box, or the penalty area. And that was Scarpella jumping in to take that spot. So with 5 minutes gone in the third quarter, still 12-4 Iroquois here on ESPN's coverage of the 2018 FIL World Championships. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer. Thank you for being with us all around the globe, watching this fabulous celebration of the game of lacrosse here in Netanya, Israel. Scarpello, that is. Lyle Thompson back playing some D midi, and you mentioned, you've said it a couple times, these are lacrosse players. These guys can play at either end. Lyle Thompson, the first player in National Lacrosse League history to lead his team in points, loose balls, and caused turnovers.
I had
it's
not
almost
heard that.
impossible.
Yeah. I had not heard that stat.
It is unbelievable.
We saw Hayana play goal the last night tournament.
Twice Hayana's played.
Lacrosse, yeah.
He had to go in 2017 or 2016 because of an injury, or actually a family emergency with their starting goalkeeper. I think it was actually Warren Hill. And
it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then last year they just put him in because he was the guy that was available, and he did okay. He's not that bad. There's a big check, huge check by Tyson Bomberry, who has been fairly quiet in his defensive role tonight, but I thought he had a breakout game. He's been a breakout player, and he was brilliant against the U.S.
It's tough to imagine there was no call there. I'm not saying there should have been a flag, but something could have been called some way.
Thompson or Bomberry taking his time. And Warren Hill just executed the long game of the hidden ball trick. He was absolutely cradling his phantom ball for about 20 seconds there, and even made the fake pass to absolutely drive this guy over. I like his commitment to that line.
Yeah, absolutely. That might be the most effective one, the most effective way to do it, because you're not trying to fool defenders and goalies who are looking for it. You're trying to fool
the many who had to turn and maybe didn't see what was going on.
Yeah, and a lot of guys are running to the bench, they turn their heads, they're not.
If you're going to commit to it. Here's Chase Scanlon, watched by Scarpello. They get it around to Randy Stotts.
That's a good
It's
call.
going to be an illegal pick, yeah.
I'm surprised that's the first one we've seen. Going both ways, obviously.
Yep. Stotts all over this man on the right. That is Tom Bracegirdle he's trying to get to. They will make an effective clear. It's a pretty good job by England under some pressure. We're going to slow things down a little bit.
And we do have a score of 15-3 for Puerto Rico behind us over Bermuda. That is in the fourth quarter.
Not a shocking situation. Puerto Rico's a remarkably talented team for
a newcomer, especially. Yeah.
A brand new entry. 12 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Still 12-4. In a pretty quiet third quarter. A little tap on the top of the head there by Jerry Stotts.
It's sportsmanlike conduct.
Who's it to?
I want to 2-1. Who's it?
I don't know if it's Frank Brown. I don't think so. No,
no one really wants to sit down for this one, huh? Oh, someone's down there.
I didn't see who it was.
No, I got nothing.
Yeah. I thought Jerry Stotts with the helmet, with the stick coming down on the top of the English forward's helmet, might have been the call, but England goes to the man up.
Whatever happened. Yeah.
Either way.
Either way.
Dusk is falling here at Netanya, out on field 4 of the Wingate Institute. Great facility to host this event. It is so hard to host the World Championships these days with 46 teams. We are changing. FIL has passed that we will go down to 30 teams at the World Championships in 2022 in Coquitlam, British Columbia. There's a shot by Ryan Hunt. Oh, Warren Hill just gets it.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the acrobatics by Warren Hill. What a play.
Unreal.
Unbelievable. Big round of applause over on the far side. England does get the ball back, and Scarpello scores.
Oh, there it is.
There's a hidden ball trick.
Speaking of the devil.
Scarpello, it's so interesting. There's a science to it, because you see a lot of guys who don't have the ball in the hidden ball are super cradling.
Yep.
So you look for that, and sometimes the guy who has the ball is trying not to cradle it all, so it doesn't look like it. Scarpello goes with the non-cradle, and it works for him.
You don't often see a team pull a hidden ball trick successfully against the Iroquois Nationals.
No. Let's see. That's an amazing play. 12-5. England pulls back within 7. We're nearing the midpoint of the third quarter. We'll have our media timeout soon. Go ahead.
7's not impossible.
Oh no, there's a lot of
lacrosse.
There's 30 minutes left. That's interesting. You think about it, you mentioned it's going down to 60 minutes, 4 15-minute quarters. It would be 10 minutes left to go if this was next year.
Under the new rules,
Yeah. I like it. I think it's a smart call,
You see what they did with Rugby Sevens, that those games are
exciting.
7 minutes long or
Love
something
it.
like that. Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I've never watched a ton of rugby. I like some rugby now and then. The Rugby Sevens I was fascinated by during the Olympics.
It's not, you're not seeing less points.
No.
They put the emphasis.
There's the pass from Ty Thompson. Comes back up to Chase Scanlon. He'll go for a bit of a trot. Got a defender right on his back. And he's going to lose possession. That's a nice check by Ryan Sweetman. And we will take the media timeout with 8:47 to go here in the third quarter. I'm Steven Stamp with Brian Whitmer. We're going to take a quick break here on ESPN, bringing you the FIL World Championships 2018 from Netanya, Israel.
For over 30 years, Cascade has been the most trusted helmet in lacrosse. Introducing the Cascade S. Cascade, passion to protect.
Today's forecast, always sunny. Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, vacation beyond belief. Book your trip now.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2018 FIL World Championships. We are underway in the third quarter. Procedure call against England as they were on the offense, and the Iroquois Nationals will get possession. And Tyson Bodbury takes that ball. Makes the long pass up ahead. Iroquois just like that into the offensive zone. And Mike Lazor will hand it off and come to the bench. Sun setting quickly. We've got a little bit of clouds. It's a brilliant day here. It's nice to get that cooling effect in the evening. Remember the entire world in the World Lacrosse Championships here on ESPN, ESPN Plus, ESPNU. Check your schedule at FIL at the FIL World Championships website. See where all the games are available and when. Randy Stotts bowling his way in, spins and shoots. Saved by Dwobang. Bounces back behind the net and is scooped up there by Chase Scanlon. He goes for a little run, looks around, makes sure he's clear, hands it off to Miles Thompson. Iroquois taking their time, Scanlon to Miles. Go up top, and Frank Brown up in the offensive set once again. Iroquois going really consistently with 4 righty dominant players. And these guys are all largely, the guys who spend a lot of time playing box, so they do really like their dominant hands. There's Miles Thompson with the low angle. Rip goes to the far side. That should be England ball. And it is. Great hustle there by Pete Hayes. And then Miles Thompson rushes in to put some pressure on the goaltender, take Drobang out as a pass, but they just throw it over to the man he vacated was Andrew Baxter. Smart play. Baxter takes the pass back from Drobang. There's some pressure once again. This time Ty Thompson getting up on him. Thompson will head off. Brian Huns gives it up to Jimmy Giannis. I haven't seen a lot of Giannis today. He was initiating a lot of the attack yesterday for England.
Definitely been a big part of this offense, and I believe he was one of the chief reasons for England's 2016 European Championships. Of course, winning that one over host Israel by a score of 10-9, if I'm not mistaken. Might have been 9-8. It was a low-scoring affair.
It was a low-scoring battle
Yeah.
between the established English team and the upstart Israel squad, who is coming on like gangbusters at international lacrosse. And this is, as we mentioned earlier, this tournament doing wonders to push the game of lacrosse around the country of Israel. I was talking to Alex Siegel earlier today as we called the game, and he was saying, you know, they started off when he came over to help out with Israel lacrosse in 4 schools, and now 14, 15, 16 schools are involved. There's clubs all around Israel, the Israel Premier Lacrosse League, a lot of lacrosse happening. The brainchild of Scott Neese, who's brought a lot of people in, and there's a lot of people behind the growth of the game here in Israel. Fabulous to see. Kahoka Nantico kicks it with 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. The Iroquois Nationals leading 12-5. Austin Stotts with the rip. He just got some space, and
I think he looks healthy.
Yeah, he looks fine. Told you he'd be back.
Yeah.
Just lets that one fly. And we're going to see on the replay that there's nobody coming to help, because again they're all tied up with their players to watch. And Stotts just a nice quick little turn.
Yeah, I mean, no slide help. I don't think he misses that shot too many times.
No, not with the 36 feet of net.
Yeah.
Square feet of net to shoot at.
Drobang's a big goalie, but still got quite a bit of net to shoot at.
Brooke and Thompson for the draw. Brooke knocks it ahead to himself, gets it down on the feet though, kicks it up at too far. And it'll be Heine Thompson trying to pick that one up. Great effort by Sweetman though to get over there, and the big hit to try and knock him out of bounds. But Heine Thompson, a nice little tap ahead to keep the ball in play. It's grabbed by Dan Smith, or is it? It gets away from him. Oh, and here it is, a 3-on-1 for the Iroquois, and the finish by Randy Stotts. Many chances for England to get that ball, but just not able to quite corral it, and then it turned into disaster for the English.
I said it about Austin, I'll say about Randy. I think he hits that shot just about 10 times out of 10.
Well, you can just see he's so hesitant. Not a lot of fakes. He just waits and waits and doesn't give any indication, and waits and sees where he's got his spot. I mean, there are a few spots on this big net again, and Randy Stotts can hit most of them.
A lot of young players start to throw too many fakes, you know, and it's like, oh, I really want to move that goalie all the way out of the way, but if you just pick your spot and hit it, that's what Stotts did there.
3 minutes to go in the third quarter, 14-5 now, the Iroquois leading. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer. You are watching the 2018 FIL World Championships. Chase Scanlon.
Scanlon
Almost.
off.
Yeah, he took a couple earlier, at least one earlier.
Did he?
Yeah. The youngster from, I believe he's from the Seneca Nation, if I'm not mistaken, in upstate New York. And we're headed to Quilton, BC to play junior A lacrosse. His brothers Clay and Frank, I believe, is the third brother. A lot of lacrosse talent in that family. They're one of many of these Iroquois national families that have a ton of talent. You see that in the game of lacrosse. A lot of it runs in families. Maybe nowhere more so than with the First Nations families.
You know, you might say it's genetics, you know, it runs in the family, but it also has to do with a competitive, you know,
the program.
Yeah,
the
it's more legacy or, you know, just expectation. You know, the Powells grew up, you know, throwing balls at Mikey, against the barn, The Thompsons grew up in the backyard, just nonstop playing. They were
playing 2-on-2.
Yeah.
There's always Jeremy and Lyle against Heine and Miles. Those are always the teams.
That was always the teams, huh?
Yeah. Well, I've talked to them about it quite a bit. Talked to their mother a fair bit at the Worlds in Onondaga. She would say, because she was saying, that Jeremy and Lyle, even they're the ones who look alike, and Miles and Heine look alike. So they would team up, the oldest and the youngest, the two middle ones. Now we've got an interference call.
What happened when there was 5? Probably have a really good goalie.
Yeah, no kidding, right? They should have had one more.
All-world goalie,
Yeah, they played little nets, right? And
yeah.
And I love, they put the commercials together where they show the 4 of them still playing. They still do that. They still just love to play lacrosse. England with the ball coming into the final minute of the third quarter. One story I love is that Tuesday, when the Nationals were stuck, the Iroquois Nationals were stuck in Ontario, they practiced in Six Nations, and 5 of their players went and played for the Six Nations Chiefs that night.
No way.
Showed up about an hour before the game. Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Frank Brown, Warren Hill, who actually started as the backup goalie and went in. Randy Stotts.
Jeremy's on that team, right?
I don't think Jeremy was actually playing this year. I'm not sure if Jeremy played or not. He might have, actually. Yeah, maybe he did. But there were 5 of them. I went and checked. That gave them a bit of a boost.
Yeah.
Putting Cody Jamieson and company on that team.
Kind of nice to have the Iroquois Nationals in town.
No kidding. That pass caught behind the net. 25 seconds for England to work with in the remaining of this quarter. Nice little move by Scarpello, but Jake Fox with a really good recovery, and that pass is picked off and sprinting up the middle. Great hustle. A nice little pass at the end by Jerry Stotts to throw it ahead. Ball is on the ground, and that's a preemptive body check by Oren Horn so he can go and pick up that ball. And then the shot by Jerry Stotts just before the buzzer. That would have been a beauty for Horn and Stotts to combine on that one. They can't quite get there. We have reached the end of the third quarter. Remember today, you can gain an extra competitive edge by upgrading to a Sisu, the official mouthguard of the 2018 World Championships. Sisu offers more protection with less mouthguard, so you can talk, breathe, and drink with no problem. Learn more at sisuguard.com. That's sisuguard.com. This game is brought to you in part by New Balance Lacrosse. Wear what the world's best are wearing, a cleat designed specifically for the game of lacrosse. The all-new Freeze 2.0. Find out more information on NB Lacrosse Instagram account and shop at newbalance.com/lacrosse. It's 14-5. We'll take a quick break on ESPN's coverage of the 2018 FIL World Championships. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer. We'll be right back.
Scary, man. Yeah. Scary cat.
Welcome back, lacrosse friends, to the 2018 FIL World Championships here at Netanya, Israel. I'm Stephen Stamp, joined by Brian Whitmer on ESPN. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching us. The Iroquois Nationals putting on a pretty impressive performance. There you're seeing an England team that is hearing it from their coach, Tom Wenham. He is pointing out, I think what the message there is, let's play 20 minutes of solid lacrosse. Let's use this to our advantage to learn from this. This game has gotten away. They're not going to come back and score 10 goals, and shut out the Iroquois Nationals in this game. A 1% chance if that.
They might be able to put up those goals, but they're definitely not going to keep them off the board. No one is.
No. The Iroquois Nationals having a lot of fun. You can see they're enjoying themselves in their circle. One of the things you like about the Iroquois team is they take this very seriously. They love this game with the passion they bring to the game, but they also have a lot of fun playing the game and make it quite clear that they do. The game today is brought to you in part by 3D Lacrosse. With 15 markets across the United States, 3D Lacrosse is America's premier provider of lacrosse training and player development services, including box field hybrid trainings, select travel teams, team tournaments, recruiting showcases, leagues, and more. Visit 3dlacrosse.com today. We are ready to go with the fourth quarter, the final 20 minutes of this game. The Iroquois Nationals 14, England 5. There's a face-off by Chase Scanlon again, and he is going down and making a la Jeff Snyder.
What a save.
Big save by Dwobang. And Scanlon immediately goes after that rebound, but Miles Thompson is the one who comes up with it, pops out of his stick under duress from 3 English players. He recovers it, but winds up flipping it back towards Austin Stotts. It goes off his stick and out of play. And the ball we picked up there by Tommy Kirkland. England with possession. Kirkland taking his time, England being quite patient. Scarpello comes in, looks for a pass. That one's a little high for Dwobang, but he will hit the man in the middle. And Tim Collins will turn upfield. England with the successful clear. And that is one thing. I mean, you can't just say, well, we need to score a bunch of goals. We need to do it in not that much time. So we're just going to go on the clear. You have to have some patience or you're just going to turn the ball over.
Nope.
It can be frustrating if you're watching, you're a fan, you desperately want your team to go score, but they have to do it the right way.
And England is a team of systems. You know, like you were talking about how the Iroquois is kind of like, you guys know what you're doing. You guys know how to play together. You guys know our basic, offensive philosophy. England is very much more of a regimented, hey, this is what we're doing.
Scarpello with the ball up top. Gets a little pick there from Sweetman. Not sure that we've seen a lot of Ryan Sweetman up in the offensive zone. He's having a go. Adding to his...
Haven't seen a lot of England up in the offensive zone.
That's an excellent point. Here comes Giannis with the bounce shot. Almost gets it by, as we now see... Tyler Armstrong, the goaltender, now in net for the Iroquois Nationals, getting him a quarter's worth of play. And that's what you'd lose, I guess, if you went, when we go to the 60 minutes, you'd lose that fourth quarter opportunity to get someone like him, but you just put him in early. I'm not arguing even remotely against going to 60.
The onus is not on the fourth quarter for developmental purposes. The game is X amount of time. What you choose to do with it.
Sweetman was looking down between his feet to scoop that up. Had Johnson Jimerson coming. There's a shot that goes by. Is Thompson?
Oh, wow, going up.
Yeah, Tyler Armstrong, nice work to sprint towards the end line to get that possession for the Iroquois Nationals, and then the long outlet pass. Miles Thompson behind the net. He's got Austin Stotts. Will hand it over. Kyle Jackson catches the ball, spins, looks behind him. You can hear them saying, wait for the laser. Mike Lazor coming off so Frank Brown can join in the offensive zone. He will get the ball now. Scarpello on him. Brown's so talented, so big and strong and athletic, but he's going to throw that pass away. It's a little too far for Austin Stotts. Dwobang takes the pass. We've got 16 and a half to go here in the fourth. 14-5 for the Iroquois Nationals. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer. Thanks for joining us for ESPN's coverage of the 2018 FIL World Championships. And an almost Warren Hill-esque, almost Warren Hill-like commitment to the the hidden ball trick by Andrew Baxter for England. It just wasn't working for him, though. I'm not sure anybody saw that he was still doing it.
Yeah, I was like, man, I thought he gave up on that. Where was the attempted handoff?
Russell hands it off. There's Giannis with the shot.
Why not?
Take it.
Why not?
Sure, if Armstrong got a little bit of that, or if it just missed the net as he went low to high. Russell dodging from X. Turns and shoots. Can't quite find his spot, but England will retain it. Huns picks one up off the back line. And Tyler Armstrong going through a couple of mental reps. As he prepares himself to face some more shots. Kind of like to see that. Goalies love to go through their mental keys and through their motions and be prepared for the next shot. You can see Armstrong using his time well out there to get some time in. Russell. Watch there by Oren Horn. I like the game Oren Horn is having tonight. I mean, I guess you could say that about most of these Iroquois nationals.
Yeah.
I really did like some of the things he's done. Giannis up top to Hayes. Fighting through the pick. No switching. That's a nice defensive job there by Jerry Stotts. And it will go. That left the short stick on Hayes, and Hayes winds up getting that rip. So the goal.
That goal will take us to hydration, I guess.
It shouldn't be. 14:54 to go.
Yeah, I'd just say, like, he called my time. I don't understand.
The players are staying on the field. I think they're just...
Interesting. I don't know. There's an official with no... Oh, they're one white balls. I see.
Oh, okay, because it's getting dark. Okay.
All right.
So the white balls for visibility as it gets darker.
Interesting. We talked through it. We got there.
Yeah. That's what we do. We problem solve.
Yeah.
Steven Stamp joined by Brian Whitmer. This is ESPN's coverage of the 2018 FIL World Championships here in Netanya, Israel. And Scanlon is out once again for the face-off, going up against Brooke.
Iroquois looked to kind of... I think they're over their jet lag. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I got in just about the same time as they did. We were in the air for most of the same time. They landed at the airport about an hour after I did on Thursday. I didn't have to go play a lacrosse game a few hours later. I've had a lot to do. I've been calling a lot of games, but definitely not the physical toll. Well, my feet are a bit sore.
No.
Yeah, some sympathy for that.
Yeah, I think everybody's a little sick.
Yeah.
World Championships, it's a lot of lacrosse.
It's a grind from stem to stern. And, we got to thank the sponsors. We got to thank all the volunteers. A ton of volunteer effort going into making this championship work. Big battle along the boards, pushing them back. That will be England possession. Great effort there by Tim Collins to get the body position. Absolutely, 100%. I think the official actually pointed the wrong direction, indicating that it was white ball, or the direction of the Iroquois Nationals. But he definitely said there was a push on white, and it would be red possession. Oh, that's just a big check.
It's just being strong.
Yeah, Mike Lazor. England gets a backhand shot, stopped by Tyler Armstrong. He thought about running behind his net, but he sees he has a man open, and Jake Fox will accept that pass. He's directing traffic with his left hand. He carried the stick with his right. Now he's got two hands on, lobs it over. Oren Horn. He'll make a pass ahead and let Tehoka Nance hold under. Now they swing around to the near side. Austin Stott's waiting for his teammates to get there and hits Jackson as he comes from the bench. Brendan Bomberry will be the sixth man out into the attack zone for the Iroquois Nationals. So orange ball is used throughout the games, but then obviously in the evening switching to the white balls. A little better visibility in these light conditions. I'm all for it. I was having trouble seeing the orange ball. There's a shot by Austin Stotts that hit somebody in front. It's a race. Wolbang trying to get it. Now he's got to get back because it was won by Miles Thompson. That's not some nice quickness by a goalie, though, to almost beat Miles Thompson during that ball.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the save. His main job, of course, stopping balls, and he's doing that very well as well. Kyle Jackson taking his time. We're 7 minutes into the fourth quarter, still 14-6. The Iroquois Nationals lead after that goal by England.
So there's obviously no shot clock, but the Iroquois don't fuss around. They're going to the goal.
Yeah, Kyle Jackson will shoot. Stopped by Dwobing. Gets a little bit of help there from Tommy Kirkland. Taps it back to him and clamps down on it. A little token pressure from Brendan Bomberry. And England takes a peek. Dwobing does anyway. At the clock right behind him at the far right of the field from our perspective. And we noticed earlier the crowd was very thick over on the far side, over to our left by the fence. And if it looks like it's thinned out, it's because they moved a bunch of people down to our left on this side, so you won't see them on camera. There are a lot of people, and the officials are having to say, yeah, okay, you can stay there, but everyone's got to move back. We have to make sure that the playing space is clear. So there are some people who are getting some up-close and personal experience watching the Iroquois Nationals in England play here.
That's cool.
It's very cool.
I think, you know, like this is a great matchup. You know, the scoreboard is not exactly tight at the moment, but you're seeing two of the best teams in the world, and it's kind of cool. You know, you can also get that feel. You're right there in it. You know, you're not in a huge stadium. You're on the ground floor.
And I'll tell you, speaking of two of the best in the world, the Iroquois Nationals are an improving team. And we talked about it, their defense has been the question mark. As that shot goes wide, England will recover the possession. They have a lot of young defenders. So far, they've been doing a very good job. That's going to be the big question for them. How does that defense hold up? How does Warren Hill hold up as they face Canada, as, you know, if they have to face the U.S. again, as they try to move forward in this tournament? Because you know the Iroquois Nationals are not happy being penciled in as a bronze medalist with people trying to take it away from them. They want to go for a medal, for a world championship.
I mean, yeah, the same conversation for England is true for the Iroquois. Like, no one likes to be that, oh yeah, those guys, they finish fourth
really
and third
job.
all the time. Yeah. Oh, good job. No, you guys, you guys worked hard. They want the medal.
Yeah.
They want what they came for.
They don't want they want the respect of their opponents, but not that it would be condescending, but not the, yeah, no, you guys gave it a really good effort. They want it to be like, wow, you guys are tough to play against. England working in the offensive zone. Giannis takes a bit of a whack, throws it out. There's Heine Thompson on him. To the far side, Ryan Huns goes to the net, shoots, but it's well wide and it goes off into the corner. England retains possession. There's Giannis again, trying to spin away from Heine Thompson.
Big checks.
That's where Heine Thompson actually started working on it. I mean, he's generally been an offensive player, as we will get the media timeout at the hydration break now. But you know, that's a role he's been working on with the Georgia Swarm as well. Remember, Epic Lacrosse, the leader in technologically advanced lacrosse equipment, is proud to be the official head, shaft, glove, and arm protection of the 2018 FIL World Championships in Netanya, Israel. Thank you to all the teams that trusted Epic for their gear needs. Epic Lacrosse, live, play, be, and Trusted Choice is the official insurance partner of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Protect what matters most. From business to home, auto, and life, Trusted Choice independent insurance agents are there for you when disaster strikes. Go to trustedchoice.com to find a local agent today. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the final half of the final quarter of Iroquois Nationals versus England. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Wimmer on ESPN's coverage of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Welcome back to Cross Friends. We're in for the final 10 minutes and 1 second of this Iroquois Nationals versus England game at the 2018 FIL World Championships on ESPN. Thanks for being with us. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer, and England with possession of the ball. Comes out to Sherry Brennan. He's got Ron John on him. Far side pass over to Russell. Goes down to Huns. You can see smoke, and then jumping out on him there was Mike Lazor. England's shot goes wide. They get the ball back. Jimmy Giannis. He and Heine Thompson have a pretty interesting matchup, and Giannis gets some space, gets a shot off, but just fires it off the side of the net. There's a big check on the ride, but a nice job by John to be able to get it out. And there's Jake Fox sprinting up. He's being tracked down. Great speed by Sherry Brennan. There's Austin Stotts with the shot. And Dwobank thought he had that one. I think he looked a little surprised.
Once again, just no angle, fading from the goal.
Remarkable talent by Austin Stotts, the youngster. The big question for him, for everyone in the box lacrosse world, is he coming out in the National Lacrosse League entry draft this year? Everyone thought he was coming out a couple of years ago when he was 18, but he went to Onondaga Community College for 2 years, won 2 JUCO championships and JUCO national championships.
Did he win 2 or 1?
I thought he won. Didn't they win back to
the year
back?
the GCC?
I thought they won back to back in 16, 17. We'll have to double check. Jeremy Thompson now takes that face off. Looked like a give and go, but Hoka Nanticoke with that patented shoulder elbow bull dodge, and then just rips it to the far side and knocks the net about an inch or two off the ground with the power of that shot bouncing off the bottom of the crossbar.
Tell you what, I strung that net, and
you might have to redo it.
I'm glad the corner held up, but that's not a lightweight goal to move.
So 16-6. The Nationals pull ahead. We're in the final 8 minutes to play. Thanks for being with us here on ESPN. We've got Chase Scanlon out against Tom Bracegirdle again. I haven't seen Bracegirdle for a while at the Face-Off X. It's a pretty good win.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so there's your problem.
And then they try and keep it moving. The ball's knocked down. It's on the ground, grabbed quickly by Johnson Jimerson. There's some pressure on Jimerson. Very calm. Oh, maybe not as calm as I thought. He was throwing it across to the far side. Couldn't quite connect with Taylor Smoke. There's a chance for England. Immediate shot. They had a chance going high to high there. Was Tim Collins. Didn't quite work out. Seems like the English team is really going high on young Tyler Armstrong. Don't know if that's in their schedule report, if they're just working on the shots, but be interesting to see if they get a chance, if they try changing things up, it'll change the play and go high to low, bounce it a little bit. Scarpello. Big pick as Heine Thompson ran himself in to the English player setting that pick.
I mean, if I were England, you're talking about shooting high, I'd just put it on cage. Let's see. You know, they've scored once or twice on him, but they haven't really tested him. He's been on the sideline most of the game.
Ryan Sweetman gets around to Jimmy Giannis. Giannis has your idea at heart. He just lets it go when he sees a bit of space. That's a nice save, though, by Armstrong.
Some pace on that shot. That was moving.
Chase Scanlon comes up with it. He'll just sprint out of trouble. Nicely lofted ahead. Perfect feed. Let's get it ahead to Brendan Baumharry. The Iroquois will set things up in the offensive zone. Kyle Jackson breaks by Scarpello looking for the ball, but nice defense on the near side. Great work by Alistair Burvin to not allow them to get that pass through. Scarpello and Jackson having a little chat. There's Hoka Nanticoke. That's his favorite move. Shoulder, elbow, push. So strong. That shot, though, goes wide.
He's a big guy. It's just so hard to defend against, you know, when there's a truck running you.
Miles Thompson tries to feed it out to Austin Stotts. Does so. Somehow Austin Stotts caught that in traffic. I mean, somehow Miles Thompson got it through the traffic as well.
Yeah.
Dan Smith on Thompson. He throws it up top to Jackson. Scarpello watching him, and Jackson will retreat to start the dodge. Here comes Tehoka Nanticoke. And spares Scarpello, because that could have been ugly if he'd laid the hard pick on. Austin Stotts runs off the check, gets the shot. Nice save by Dwobeng, and then he bounces on that loose ball. Austin Stotts going after it, and it was raked in by Dwobeng. Here's the hustle with a big chop there by Oren Horn. He's still playing hard to the final buzzer.
There's a flag down. Yep.
Yeah. A little too hard.
That ball was away, yeah.
The offensive opportunity ends for England, so we'll have the interference called to Oren Horn. Oh, no, it's Austin Stotts who was reached into the crease when Dwobeng had the ball under his stick. So if the ball is under the goalie's stick, if he's got it covered outside the crease, you can rake underneath. You can try and get it. But once he's clamped down on the ball inside his crease, you cannot go after it. And that's a goalie interference call. So Austin Stotts will go and have a seat, and England will try to take advantage of their man advantage here. We're into the final 4-11 of the fourth quarter at 16-6 for the Iroquois Nationals. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer. You're watching the FIL World Championships 2018 on ESPN. And that pass just gets away from Ryan Huns.
I hate to see that. You know, they get the man up. They're working on get that opportunity and just throw it away. Quite a few actually. You know, English turnovers, just unforced errors, just kind of throwing the ball away.
Tightrope walking along the sidelines. Nice job to maintain his balance there. And Ron John has had a very solid game. He's going to now sprint back over center. Let Frank Brown step up into the offensive zone. Brown has made the conversion to defender in the National Lacrosse League with the first the Georgia Swarm and then the Rochester Nighthawks. But he is an offensive-minded guy. He has a ton of talent and so big and strong and athletic. Well, he's got some skill too. There's Tehoka Nanticoke with the toe drag, goes hard to the net, shoots wide. Austin Stotts, the first man in position to get that ball. He'll pick it up off the end line. Stotts shows that he's got the ball. This wasn't where it went out. Just wants to make sure it's clear for everybody, and he runs the sideline, the baseline. Under 3 minutes to play, we are into stop time for the final few minutes of this fourth quarter. And what a play. Taking the big hit to make the shot, and Austin Stotts reaches out. That's the old, your stick has eyes that you don't. It can see where you can't. He reaches around the goalie and tucks it in far side.
Once again, that wasn't bad defense. He had it.
Perfect timing on the slide. I mean, he was hit as he released that shot. You could be a quarter of a step earlier, I guess, but if you are, as we've said, if you go any earlier, maybe Austin Stotts throws the pass. But that's just a great finish by the talented youngster. Scanlon and Brook. Oh, no, it's Brace Girdle. My bad. Brace Girdle can't get this one. It's Scanlon. Slips through the pair of defenders. Austin Stotts will lob it back up to Frank Brown. Once again, 4 righty-dominant Iroquois Nationals out on the field. Nanticoke, Brendan Domberry, and back over to Frank Brown. And for a little bit there, you might think, oh, they're taking their time. They are not. They're just getting things set up so Frank Brown can rip a laser about midway up the post just inside the bar.
You can call the Iroquois just aren't boring.
No.
And you'll never, I don't think, I would like to see if the Iroquois have ever had a stall call put on them.
It's hard to imagine. I mean, what's the impetus if you're a ref? I was just saying, they're getting a little methodical as they throw back out to set things up. But I really didn't think it was going to happen. And as I was thinking about it, Frank Brown just runs in and lets that one rip. 18-6. The Iroquois will go up with 2:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. There's a win for Brace Girdle. He's running down. Passes right onto the crease. Nice finish. That was Alex Russell. That's a pretty play. Brace Girdle gets it up to Russell, and he catches, spins, and fires, bouncing it home.
think that goal is very important for England. Just a reminder, like, hey, we do belong here. We do belong here. We can score goals on these guys.
Oh, they've got big games coming up.
Yeah. It's a long week.
Yeah. Scotland and Australia, obviously very key matchups for this club.
I don't think this is the best English team we're going to see this week.
No.
I think, you know, we saw the first 5-10 minutes looked fantastic.
Against Canada?
No,
or tonight.
This
Yeah,
game,
they were great. First quarter against Canada was very solid as well. Toka Nanticoke behind the back pass between a pair of defenders. Nicely handled there by young Liam Anderson to get the ball up ahead, and Austin Stotts throws it to Miles Thompson. Toka Nanticoke stopping and starting out front, and then we have a call.
Moving pick.
Hard to see from the angle we're at that it was the hand to the elbow, which is the official signal for the moving pick. 1:38 to go here in the fourth quarter. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer. Thank you so much, Lacrosse friends, for being here for ESPN's coverage of the 2018 FIL World Championships. Here's Sherry Brennan going for a trot. Back up top to Russell. Over to Huns. Throws it down to Alex Russell. Giannis up to Sam Russell. Oh, sorry, that is the captain. Or that is Tim Collins. Going to have to take that pass. So there's something going on with the net. The official has blown play down. Just wants to make sure everything's okay. It's all lined up. Just in case anything went wrong in the final 109.
Jeez.
I don't know if that was necessary.
No, that was goofy.
18-7, Iroquois up. England with possession, and we are in the final minute of play. Every once in a while, a couple of broadcasters bang heads together.
That
was what that little noise was.
That happened.
Yeah. It's kind of fun. These things happen.
We're having fun.
We are.
That's why we're here.
That's right. Everyone's here to have a great time and enjoy this fabulous worldwide celebration of the game of lacrosse. We're into the final 35 seconds.
The largest world championships we're going to have.
Going to a qualification system will only be 30 in 2022 in Coquitlam.
Some of these new and developing programs that haven't not made it yet to a world championships.
Maybe a while.
Unfortunately, we're not going to see them for a while, yeah.
I don't mind it, though. It is pretty unwieldy. Finding host venues.
I've been here for 7 months working to get this one, get these games going. And
you know the wieldiness that was involved.
I'll tell you what. I mean, you only had 13 months runway, and even 4 years. I don't know how much better it could have gotten. It's a lot of teams.
Yeah. Iroquois Nationals with the ball, and now they're going to slow things down for the final 12 seconds. And who will have the ball as the buzzer goes? Taylor Smoke will have that honor. The final buzzer sounds. The Iroquois Nationals have won 18-7 over Team England at the 2018 FIL World Championships here on ESPN. I'm Stephen Stamp with Brian Whitmer. Our thanks to everyone for being with us. Make sure you stick with us throughout the championships. There's a lot more excitement to come. Things are going to build. The games are going to get tighter through a lot of the games as we go on. And there's a lot to play out. And I'll tell you, this Iroquois Nationals team will be fascinating to watch as they move forward. That'll do it. I thank you on behalf of Brian Whitmer, myself, Stephen Stamp, and everyone else here at ESPN. Thanks so much for being with us. Iroquois 18, England 7. It's the 2018 FIL World Championships on ESPN.